before you, you see the graph of three different functions labeled A, B, and C. We are told that one of these is the graph of f of x, a second is the graph of f prime of x, and the third is the graph of f double prime of x. Our task is to identify which graph is which. Here we will use a key idea. And the idea is a function has a horizontal tangent exactly where its derivative is 0. And we will begin by considering graph A. For simplicity, let's think of graph A as graphing the function a of x, graph B as graphing the function b of x, and graph C as graphing the function c of x. So the first thing we do is we draw a tangent to a of x, and we draw it at the point in the upper right corner where there is a horizontal tangent. We drop a perpendicular straight down so that we can see the x-coordinate of that horizontal tangent. And what we note here is that neither b of x nor c of x is 0 at that point. Thus, neither b of x nor c of x can be a prime of x. Thus, a of x must be f double prime of x, because only f double prime of x does not have a derivative that is graphed in this figure. Now what we do is we look at the points on a of x, where a of x is 0, and what we see is that c of x has horizontal tangents at those 3 points, and b of x does not. Since c of x has horizontal tangents where a of x equals 0 and b of x does not, a of x must be the derivative of c of x. The c of x must be f prime of x, because the derivative of f prime of x is f double prime of x, which we know is a. Okay, we're going to investigate a little more carefully the relationship between a of x and c of x. We confirm that a of x is in fact c prime of x by noting that c of x is increasing where a of x is positive and c of x is decreasing where a of x is negative. Now we look at c of x and b of x. We note that graph B has horizontal tangents exactly where graph C is 0, and that graph B is increasing exactly where graph C is positive. Thus, we have confirmed that C is b prime of x, and that makes B f of x. So we have then A is f double prime, C is f prime, and B is f of x.